Pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We will review any discussion of the March 2nd, 2026 meeting minutes.
I see a couple things.
Okay.
Under public comment, the third or fourth sentence, it says, after a long discussion with the homeowner, he moved to approve. Can we take out a long discussion with the homeowner and replace it with Barnes and Bassett calculated bulk cost, cost of production, and the minimum monthly cost? Did you catch all of them?
You want what? I'm sorry.
So about halfway down,
Yeah,
are you talking about the replacement of it?
yeah, the replacement, I'm sorry.
Just Barnes and Bassett calculated bulk cost.
Okay.
Cost of production and minimum monthly cost. Because I think there was a couple of costs that we calculated.
Okay.
And then we decided on whatever.
You just want a little more detail?
A little more detail on what happened with calculating
Okay.
the different costs. Because I think that's
Okay.
what had happened.
You said there was two?
Yeah, there's I think that's okay. I'm not gonna be too finicky.
Did you get what you wanted? I make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes for
I got it.
March. Nope,
I'm not done.
sorry.
I don't know who Caleb Belmer is, but we talked about Caleb Belmer for the police vehicle. There's misspelling in that.
Oh, here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is, the top of the third page.
It wouldn't spell check either.
And I think that was all I had.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you just know what it's supposed to be, so you read it that way. Anybody else?
Further discussion, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes as corrected for March 2nd, 2026.
Second.
Motion by Kevin, second by Chad. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Next, we have a public comment section. Anybody? Bill, are you on the agenda or are you just hanging out? Awesome. Well, if there's nobody public comment, we'll move on.
If I may, Mayor DePrato requests an executive session concerning non-elected personnel. Before we get started,
Yeah, you can make a motion for one.
I move that the city council recess into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss the non-elected personnel matter, including the council, the mayor, and the city attorney. Adjourning at 7:05. And the open meeting will resume at 7:15
In here. You have to just take the location.
In the
Okay.
council room.
in the council room at 7:15.
Motion's been made by Holly. Second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, we'll recess into executive session. The Carbon Study Council meeting.
We have
You would, sorry, yeah.
Oh.
You'll state we are in executive session for 10 minutes, no decisions being made. And
We
then
were,
that's-
we were in executive session for 10 minutes, no decisions made.
And then you can request for another,
Uh,
motion for, another executive.
Motion for executive session to speak of non-elected personnel for 10 minutes at 7:16 to resume back in the council room at 7:26.
And then state who you want in.
Council, mayor, and city attorney.
Motion's been made by Holly, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed?
Aye.
No,
Yes. Not, all in
I said
favor?
yes.
Motion carried. Recess to. We'll now open back up into the open, city meeting.
You can say your spiel.
You say that we're in executive session.
We're in executive session for 10 minutes, no decisions made.
Okay. Do you believe we were at public comment, or was we in public comment, so we'll move forward. JEO,
Sasha is here with JEO, for the sidewalks that Chad's been talking about on West Hill coming down, kind of connecting the
Hello.
park area. JEO is one of the companies, her and BG Consultants both responded. One of that Sasha talk.
So thank you, Your Honor, governing body members, thank you so much for giving us, JO an opportunity just to speak to you briefly. I, did provide a letter with our formal response. There really is no upfront charge when we write grants for our partner cities or those cities that we are city engineer for. The exception to that would be, of course, when you do things like CDBG and there are neighborhood surveys required and man hours related to that type of activity. But in response to the request for funding assistance, we don't have a fee for that. We don't charge for grant writing. Our request to the city would be that you enter into an on-call agreement with us. Those on-call agreements that we have can be as simple or as complicated as you all want it to be. We have on-calls that don't have a dollar amount attached to them. And all it states is that if you call us, we'll respond. You call us and tell us what you need, we'll provide a price, and then you'll say, no, go do that, or oh, get out of here with that. So, without some type of formal relationship, we can't really provide the funding assistance. We don't like grants for fees. So, and I should back up and start at the beginning. I'll be brief though, you guys have a lot on your agenda. So JEO has been working with Carbondale for a little while. We were selected by KDHE to assist water systems with the lead copper inventory for the EPA. And we were assigned to you all to help get that inventory completed and submitted to KDHE. So that's how we came to know Carbondale. JEO is a full service engineering firm. We have all the disciplines with the exception of airports. We don't like to mess with the FAA, so we do everything but airports. I am not a salesperson. I am part of our planning and engagement group, and I am a public affairs project manager for JEO. I was sharing with Councilmember Hink before the meeting that I worked in local government for about 20 years before I joined JEO. I was in Andover for about 10 of those years, worked there as a city administrator, and then came to the city of Topeka and worked there as a department head. So I get to go and build relationships with cities such as Carbondale because I speak your language. I understand your issues. I've sat at your table. So that's why I'm here this evening rather than perhaps a salesperson, or I did plan to bring an engineer for you all to meet. He's kind of our guy that serves in that client relationship role when we have on-call engineering agreements in this part of the state. JEO is originally from Nebraska. They were founded in 1937 in Wahoo, Nebraska, which is a very small place, not unlike Carbondale. We are now in Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota, and working our way into Missouri. So our footprint is expanding, but our love and attention to small cities hasn't changed since 1937. The little places are really where we prefer to work. We understand what you guys deal with because of the long history inside of JEO and working with small cities. So that's my elevator pitch about JEO. But in response to the funding assistance request, we would be delighted to continue to work with Carbondale and to help you all find funding for the sidewalk project. As I alluded to in the letter, we did identify several funding sources. Unfortunately, we just missed that TA funding pot by about 2 weeks. That would have been a good one. We don't believe that they will offer applications again for another 2 years. There's a cost share program, but it's very, very competitive, and we know that it would take multiple years of applications to get you funded through that program. CDBG is an option, and you guys have taken advantage of that funding source many times in Carbondale, so you're familiar and comfortable with that. So that also is an option. And then I think I saved the best for last. We think you guys would be an ideal candidate for the Safe Streets for All program. The 2026 application cycle for Safe Streets has not yet opened. I've been watching that website like a hawk. FHWA should announce soon when what the application deadline would be for this year's application cycle. And we've assisted several of our clients, small places like Carbondale, with that application. And then we've moved from helping them secure the funding to helping them create their safety action plan. What that Safe Streets for All program would look at is transportation safety. So not really the thickness of your asphalt or things like that. It's more about pedestrian, bicyclist, and driver safety in your street network. So things like sidewalks, which is what this latest request is about, are part of that safety action plan. Where do we need to create pedestrian infrastructure to get kids out of the streets so it's safe for them to walk to and from school, as an example. But it would look at more than just sidewalks. It could be things like ADA ramps and other ADA compliance issues that you may have with your sidewalk system. As well as things like pedestrian crossings. I mean, the list goes on and I won't bore you with it, but the sidewalks fit really neatly in it, and in my opinion, that's a longer game, but that's a bigger game that you guys would be potentially setting yourself up for. So the way that the SS4A program works is once you're selected for a project, then the first phase is that study, that safety action plan. And once that plan is developed, and that happens in cooperation and conjunction with the leadership of the city. It's not just JO deciding what we're doing. There's a lot of community engagement and definitely a lot of engagement with the leadership to figure out what feels right in Carbondale's safety action plan, as an example. Once that's done, that queues you guys up to apply for funding for implementation, because that's phase 2 of the Safe Streets for All program, and there are billions of dollars in that FHWA program. So, but there are also many cities taking advantage of it. So I would encourage you all to give that one some thought, because if you're interested in going after that, we would love to sit at the table with you and walk next to you as a partner in the application process. Emily mentioned that you guys had talked to Osage County, but that seemed like that conversation just really wasn't going anywhere. I don't know how much longer this first phase of the SS4A will be available, because it's tied to the last infrastructure bill at the federal level. So at some point they're gonna wind it up and then start the next, whatever the next big thing is, so. And as the letter mentions, again, on call or some kind of a contractual formal relationship, we'd be happy to visit with you all and apply for all kinds of grants for Carbondale.
Is that the grant that could help with our drains and on Main Street also?
That's a different one.
Okay.
So, you guys are in a very sweet spot for some Kansas Water Office funding that would potentially pay for 100% of water, wastewater, and stormwater improvements. Your curb and gutter issue, that's a stormwater issue, right? So, and that Kansas Water Office program, it's specifically for small places, and there's no local match required. So it's competitive because it's 100% funded, but we've secured several of those for our partner cities. So we feel like there is boatload of opportunity for Carbondale if we had a clear understanding of what your long-term goals are and had a little closer working relationship. I think we could really help you guys secure some funding that would bring nice projects to the community.
These grants are gonna require a preliminary engineering report.
Yes, sir, they are, and that preliminary engineering report, which many of the cities that we're working with, small like Carbondale, they don't just have those sitting on the shelf. We have found a couple of different ways to fund that PER to make you all eligible for that Kansas Water Office funding, because you all are not all the only ones in the position that a PER, preliminary engineering report for a water system, ballpark is about 30 grand. But we've identified funding sources at the state that can help cover that cost so that you're still queued up and we can get you in the application cycle for the big study, right? Because the preliminary is the high level and then we dig in with a big study, and then engineering and construction could be funded through that same program.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
So you're saying that the Safe Streets, they haven't opened the window?
The application process, yes, sir, has not opened yet for
Okay.
twenty
Do
twenty-six.
you have a, like,
I've been
a
looking at that
ballpark?
website every day. No,
Okay.
it's always difficult to tell what the timelines of the federal government are gonna be, so it's hard to tell.
okay,
But we're monitoring it, you know,
cause I think that would be
closely.
So what you
good one
need
for us.
What you need from us is to get an idea of a plan if we were to pursue using JEO.
Yes, you guys are interested in continuing discussions about how we can help you find funding and apply for it and secure it. We would need an on-call, and like I'm trying, maybe not doing a great job of describing, that can be as simple or as complicated as we want it. You know, $0, or we could set a cap. I mean, it looks a million different ways, and I can share that information with Emily and she can provide it to you all, or I can come back, whatever works best for Carbondale.
I guess my question is, what is that on-call, what does that agreement with you cost us?
Nothing until you tell me to do work.
Okay,
Nothing until
So
you
there's
tell
no-
me to do work.
it's just a paper contract until
Really,
we need something from,
yes, really the obligation of an on-call as we write it is ours. We are obligated to respond when you call us and say, here's what it would cost to do whatever.
okay,
But again, like grant writing is not something that we charge for.
and you come in, we call you and say, we need this, we need our drainage done.
Mhm.
You throw out a number at us, or, you know, or a grant or something, we don't agree with it. We go to BG and we get something from them, does that void our contract, or are we still good?
That's the kind of sweet position for cities and an on-call, is that an on-call with JO does not prohibit you from working with any other engineer. It's not an exclusive agreement. We're not married.
Like,
Or
come
dating
back to
around.
our legal advice over there. With the contract on an on-call, you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
You comfortable with it?
It depends on the way it's worded.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Easy honest.
Oh, completely understandable, and happy to
Yeah.
provide that in a document that Mr. Barnes could mark up and tell us the
Okay.
parts that he hates
I
and
think that'd
what
be
he
the-
wants added and.
The first, if, you know. But
Do
yeah,
you have any other local, small towns similar to us that you're working with currently?
what's that in?
So, right here in the northeast Kansas area, we are working with McLeod, Ozaki. You guys and about 3 rural water districts, and this is inventory work that on that lead and copper stuff. But then on the city engineering and like technical engineering work side, we're all over the state. I mean, we just signed on city engineering agreements with South Hutch. We're in Hutchison. or in Augusta. We're doing work in some of the bigger cities, but don't have engineering. We're not their city engineer. But I can provide a list of all the cities that we've worked with through that KDHE program, as well as a list if you guys are interested in who we have on call or city engineering contracts with. We'd be happy to provide that.
That'd be great.
Did you have something?
I was just gonna say, that what kind of goes with the JEO is we do have the BG consultant bid for the sidewalk project. That's the one I emailed out to
I
everyone.
got you.
So I just wanna make sure you're aware that one was in there before any decisions were made or anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha.
The BG, you know, in comparison to the Sasha, like the GEO, when we deal with CDBG, we also have to deal with gas. And you're an all-in-one.
Yes, our funding specialists are employees of JEO.
But you won't administer the grant.
We do in some cases. We're working on a couple of projects where we're supporting with the reporting and all of that, reporting and I'm totally brain fading on the other word that I want to say. Record keeping, as an example, we're working with the city of Lincoln, Nebraska on they're actually in the third year of replacing galvanized and old lines. And we are absolutely supporting them and helping them with the administration of these borrowed state revolving loan
But
funds.
you cannot be the grant administrator if you're the engineer, can you?
Depends on the program. I believe so.
I'm not sure.
And in some cases, I am not the funding specialist, but I can bring her and so that you guys can ask these questions. In some cases, we are applying on your behalf, right? As your representative. In other grant programs, she is building the application for you and you're submitting it.
And in those instances, what I understand is that the city administers its own grant. It takes care of the administration of the grant with your support.
We could certainly make
But I've
that.
never heard of an engineering firm being the grant administrator. But I can be educated.
Likewise.
I guess, would you be willing to come back to the next meeting and bring that other lady that you just talked about?
Our funding specialist?
Yes,
Mhm.
and maybe we can kind of pick this up.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that would be a good next
That's
step.
what we want. We just
Yeah.
want to make sure it goes early on the agenda.
I'd like Tom to have some time to think about and
So
And
either the next meeting early or the following meeting when Tom's here for the full meeting is what we want Tom to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
Either.
We don't want to
because we
lose.
have. It'd be better, I think it's where these grants are coming up and you're needing to get this submitted as quickly as possible. I don't think you want to wait.
So I just want to be sure that you're here.
But we'd have to put this at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay. We'll make notes of that, Emily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so then with that, do we obviously want to make no action on the sidewalk bid with BG consultants?
just
Yeah,
table
So
it.
no action,
I
table down.
do have one question though, and
Okay.
Emily, you might be able to clarify it, or even you. We apply for a grant, are we limited to just this one grant? Is there any other projects that we're wanting to do? Because the sidewalk is one of those ones that just that Chad just brought up. And we're kind of moving on it, but is there any other grants for maintenance or anything that we're gonna need to be doing that this locks us out of doing those?
There's different categories and you might know more, Sasha. But so like doing like a new development like we have up there is different than doing a street project or something like that. There's different categories of the CDBG.
Okay.
And so,
And so being a part of one doesn't kick you out of
Right.
another. Perfect, awesome.
Can I ask one follow-up question?
Yeah.
So, do you want me to send Mr. Barnes a copy of one of our on-call templates, or
Yes,
do
please,
you want me
yes.
to bring, okay. I'll
Yes,
get with
please.
him, and
Sooner the better, so then maybe we'll get some time to review it before the next meeting.
absolutely, and Mr. Barnes, we have a couple different versions, and I'll just send them to you, and you can.
All right, we give it. Contact.
All
Like
right.
having options.
Well, we will, so we're gonna pass or table the West Hill project bid. Documentation of canceled meeting minutes.
Holly was reviewing or you can take it Holly either way, the minutes online, and she noticed that there was a couple council meetings that there was no minutes for. They were ones that, one was canceled due to weather and one we didn't have a quorum, and I believe she was just wanting to know if they could be posted on the website. I had put these in the council packets and no action was taken on them.
So this was put in the council packet, and I do believe Tom looked at this and said because we was in quorum, there should have been no meeting called to order or adjourned. It should have been. So that's why this should have been omitted. Tom wasn't here to advise us for that, so we thought to cover our bases. But yeah,
What does that mean? It
You
should have
can't-
been omitted. What does that mean?
this piece of paper for minutes should have been omitted because there should have been never an adjourn or a
Open.
open
There was
because
no
there was not enough to make quorum.
Or,
Oh,
or could it have just been a
And
piece
the-
of paper saying no
This-
meeting due to
Lack of
inclement weather?
quorum or.
Yes.
And I
without
think
weather.
that's what
And then
Holly's
that can
wanting,
just be
is just
posted
something to
online.
fill the
Yes.
void.
Just
So,
something to say that we didn't have a meeting, so community members don't think that we're hiding something.
That would be good.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just.
Agreed.
Go with that.
I mean-
Just not this literature here.
Okay.
Is what this was.
And,
Tom
and then,
advised not to post this.
and then
Right.
that other one that's on the back of there, on something like that, shouldn't that be posted since there was something that was decided?
I would say yes.
I mean, I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
That's a Tom question.
I guess, does that constitute a meeting that we were individually hold?
Yeah. And that's technically a violation of the Kansas Open Meetings Act. So,
So with that, how do we need to recommend ourselves?
I'm gonna have a little primer on the Kansas Open Meetings Act that I'll present a month from now.
Okay.
Just get everybody up to speed on that.
That sounds good. So then back to the original question, with this, what would you were asking what should be posted with this, Holly?
Yeah, I don't know if that even should be posted, but
I gotcha.
I thought whenever we make decisions that it should be public knowledge. And even if we cancel a meeting, like I said, I would think for the community members' peace of mind, we might post something that just says meeting canceled or whatever you
Yeah.
have put before.
Meeting canceled due to the reason and then no business was conducted,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Consensus to do that?
Or should I make a motion?
So whatever you feel comfortable doing.
I think we've all pretty much agreed
So
that it
I
needs to
think
be
it's
done.
consensus.
Okay.
Consensus is fine. Do you have a department purchase directive policy for purchases?
Yeah, it's in that green folder.
And what's the limit on a department?
I think it's $250 a day.
No.
Unless- Is that what he's talking about?
That right there. I think it's down under the.
Oh.
It's over a certain, it's 200, but then. Oh, that's for the bids.
That's
it's over.
competitive bidding.
But Anthony, in the past has approved things
I think,
like these were snow plows and we can't open meetings because of the snow, so Anthony. I think
Kevin, a
approved
few years
technically.
back, did we give the mayor like a $2,000 limit on approving something without having to come to council when it came to vehicles and
I wanna
emergency?
I think it was
I-
3. But there was a number.
There was a
There
number,
was a
I
number. I don't know if it ever got noted and put into.
Well, I think it needs to be, because I would say that this amount here, 1,600 on one and 2,000 on the other, seems like it would be within the discretion of the department head or the mayor. And then I take it that these purchases were ratified after they were purchased by the council setting, so.
yeah, typically if something like that happened, it was brought up at the next meeting and discussed. But there was, yeah, I agree, there was a number set, it might have been,
It was in that 2 to 5 range, but I couldn't tell you exactly. what it was.
Or I have in the past, though, if I've had to do something like that, I'll individually message them just to give them a heads up, like, hey, I approved to get the cruiser.
And that's
At so and so for the amount of this.
that's fine, just don't send it and request their
Yeah,
feedback.
no, more or less, it was just that this is what happened, now you know.
All right. And then, under any of these, you can always make it takes 3 council members to request a special meeting. And that's you asking, do you support having a special meeting for this purpose? If 3 of you will indicate, you call the mayor and ask for the special setting,
No,
and then you make,
well, I know we were trying to get away from special meetings, but because we were there for a while, we're doing it all the time.
and part
That's
of,
what it felt like.
and one of the ways to do that is to have a procurement, they call it a procurement policy. So I think you want to make sure that your procurement policy does give a reasonable amount of latitude to department heads and to the mayor to make those type of judgment calls, and then for you all to have a comfort level that it's not going to be exploited. So I'm gonna say a $200 purchase. That's really low as far as a procurement policy that when it's compared to other communities that I've represented. $200 not gonna get you much in today's age. So, but it's gotta be what you all feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
So give that some thought, and you might wanna take action on it some future meeting.
Okay. So, backtrack just a hair. Did that answer your question, Holly, your original question that you were asking about this particular page?
Sure.
Did,
I
I
just
just wanna
don't know
make
if
sure
we're
we
supposed to
didn't get-
post that.
you want, if we're supposed to post this or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we post that?
Wasn't it ratified at the next meeting?
No, it wasn't.
Well, it's ratified if they paid for it.
Okay.
If there was a motion to pay bills and they paid them,
Yeah,
that's ratification.
That's true.
so then it was ratified. So then this posted?
yeah, and I agree with her that for if like we miss a meeting for a like inclement weather or something like that, just you can put it in this format, but just put meeting was canceled
Yeah.
due to, and you state the reason, and that, then you can just put that online, so if somebody goes and says, oh, what was this one? Oh, well, there's snow on the ground.
Well, that, anything else? No? Okay. Next will be the food truck application.
This one, is part of our current solicitor peddler permit, the one that we just made some corrections to. And
Which one?
the solicitor permit, so just trying to move the food truck, Holly thought it might be best to move the food truck vendor onto its own application. To separate it away from the solicitor canvasser. Make it more specific. I did check, Holly, on the one you had on there, passing the standard on fire inspections. The city of Carmel has no adopted fire code, so that's one that we wouldn't be able to do, so we'd have to remove that one.
That's fine. I was really just concerned that, I mean, are the mobile food trucks showing their food establishment license? Showing that they've been inspected currently? So folks don't get sick in town. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's my concern. The $100 fee, the $30 fee, whatever, that's fine. I mean, of course, the $50 fee, I think is a little, I don't know. I think it's a little overkill. Because I mean, honestly, can someone move to Carbondale and start a brick and mortar restaurant without being subject to a background check?
I removed the background check off of the food truck one for you.
Oh, did I put it on there?
But when they apply for their permits and all that with the state of Kansas, they have to go through all that anyways.
Right, they've got to go through a
So
whole
what-
rigmarole.
So
Yeah,
it
of
would be a
stuff.
bit redundant. We've had this discussion,
Yeah, agreed.
but
Is this something you guys want to adopt into?
Well, I mean, it'd really be up to the lawyer, because wouldn't we have to have another article
I don't know how that works.
for requirements on food trucks? Or would it just be the
We're wanting to adopt a
application?
different application.
It's just the application form.
It's not the actual rules or anything.
Oh.
You're not changing your ordinance at all, you're just having a form for them to fill out.
We're just
so
separating.
we're
the forms.
removing from this one, making it
So right now-
food trucks its own.
Yeah, so from one, we're
So-
gonna remove the food truck and then we're gonna have the other form.
So we would just need a motion and a,
Motion whether or not you want to approve the new mobile food vendors application form.
go.
And vendors is spelled wrong.
Yeah.
And what is the fee? It's not on the anywhere.
See, that's what I was concerned about, or whatever, with the article, the solicitor's one being the way it is. It's still the $100 and then $30 and then $50 fee.
Food truck's $30 a day or $100 a year. And I can add it on the bottom of it, and then we'll take off the $50 individual background check if that's what you guys want.
Okay.
So the 30 and 100.
So we can move to adopt this with corrections.
I move to adopt the mobile food vendor application with the amendments.
Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Holly. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Dylan? You're up.
I don't think I got this one in the packet. This one's for Great Secret at 225 Market Street.
It's in the packet.
Oh,
This one is?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. I'm looking
yeah,
at
he wanted to add a shed, a pre-built shed into his yard. He's within all the setbacks and has enough space for additional roof square footage coverage, so I do not see any issues with it.
So he's gonna go north-south with it?
Technically, he could go either way, but yeah, that's how he put it on the head.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah, he said he did. He said he talked to you.
Awesome. Cool. Nobody sees any issues why he cannot. I'll take a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the zoning permit for Greg Secord at 225 Market Street for a shed.
Second.
Motion by Kevin, second by Ron. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
The only other thing, I've not had the chance to investigate the mobile home park against the regulations and get you guys a report. And then the last house, the last building permit that we just approved, put in there, they passed the inspection, so they'll be applying for occupancy permit soon.
We know when they're putting decks on. It's a nice looking trailer.
Yeah. I do not know when the decks are going on. But as far as foundation and utility connections.
I kind of looked around the mobile park. I didn't really see a lot, but then again, I don't know what to look for. So any variances, wouldn't they just apply for that? Because I saw in the zoning, it's got like applications and stuff for variances. So wouldn't they just apply for that since we have the applications for, did you find any variances in like the files or whatever? I mean, I don't know how you keep your stuff.
They're just verbal variances that council's approved. So like when they come in and ask for something like the trailer that was over date, when they applied for it, council just approved the zoning permit with a variance.
Oh,
There
okay.
wasn't a form that
That was
came with
because they
them.
came in and presented
Yeah.
the reasoning of why they wanted the variance. So I guess it was more of a verbal application. than
Oh,
a-
okay. So
Um,
then what do we, I guess then what do we need to, like, what are we trying to investigate?
They're already in place. It basically goes back to that email from 2013 about at one point, the city council had said they weren't going to allow any more houses to be moved in until the park was brought up to regulations.
Yeah.
So that would be why.
I want to say they actually tried making it to where they didn't bring anything in on Axle in Carbondale for a while, but then that was changed with the next council members.
Oh,
Right, and so there, I don't know what we can do as far as what you have to abide by previous council decisions and things like that, since things have changed.
Well, there's state law that governs where mobile homes can be placed. And there are certain mobile homes that just by their nature have been regulated out of existence in any trailer parks within any cities. And so, I always have to go back and look at the statutes, but, the mobile home manufacturing industry came down on some communities that were trying to wholly eliminate them. And they were successful in seeing that those communities were enjoined from imposing something that was more restrictive than what the statutes were. And so I don't have it memorized. I do have a pretty comprehensive memorandum on it for communities that I represented when these issues came up here years ago, and about 2010, 2013 is what I recall. I could share with you that memorandum, but to have me just recite it off the top of my head, I can't. But I do believe that if your mobile home park is not, if its infrastructure is such that you do not believe that it can accommodate these structures, whether it's their plumbing is out of spec for potable water or for sewage, then I believe that you can require that the park bring their infrastructure up to speed. And again, all of this stuff seems to predate me.
Me too.
And so it's gonna take us a while to get our head wrapped around exactly what the issue is. But it sounds to me like somebody's brought a mobile home that's not precluded by state law into the community, placed it in a manufactured home park.
My understanding is actually that sometime around 2013, the rules changed. And they said that no more could be brought in until the rest of them were brought up to regulation.
Okay.
But I also have one email from 2013 to go out that has no details.
Would any of that be changed, or would that carry over to the new owners when coffee sold? When the previous owners sold that,
I asked that question and she said that information was included when they purchased it.
They came in and talked to us in the office and we provided them all of that.
But does that still carry over? Just because they were given it doesn't mean,
Oh, I don't know.
that's my, gonna be a Tom question,
Well, again, I'd have to research it too, so I'm gonna have to see the minutes that were taken, what action was.
That's kind of where I'm at for what I should be investigating, other than I was just going to investigate it against the entire litigation, which will take me some time.
And the question is, do you want me to do it or you want him to do it and me to look at what he comes up with?
I have no problem doing it if you, I don't have access to these meeting minutes. I don't know where to find anything.
I don't even know if they'd have them from way back 2013.
That's what I was
have.
basically, okay. You can round them up for me or tell me where they're at. I can look through them, but yeah, checking it against the whole regulation was the only way I saw to get you guys a
I
report.
don't know if it'll help, but in '98, the property that I had up on West Hill had a double wide trailer on it, and broke down, and the reason that, we ended up building that house up there was because the city council said we couldn't bring anything on axles in '98, so I don't know how far back it went.
Yeah, in the mid to late nineties, the city of Carbondale did away with anything on axles except for in the trailer park.
The ones were grandfathered in.
There, and what was grandfathered in, what's here.
Yeah.
So there's a couple down here. If they are moved out, you cannot put a new one
And
back.
that's not uncommon. There's a lot of communities that did that. But there were some that are trying to eliminate them altogether.
Right, I'm just saying if you guys are looking for statutes, I know that in '98, the city of Carbondale had a thing to where they had something about, axle things, that's why the house got built up in West Hill.
And I can give you an example. I was city attorney at Emmett. And Emmett worked there was a lot of mobile homes that would end up in Emmett due to outages at Jeffries. And it started to where there was getting a community just build of mobile homes. And we went through this process, and that's when I developed this memorandum. It said as long as it is a mobile home park in your community and it's properly zoned, you can't eliminate them. If they want to bring mobile homes in, if they are after a specified date, because there's a date that they will not let these in because they're essentially box kites. You can't, but if it's after that era, you can't preclude them.
To that point there, I have talked with the owner of the park. He says he will only be bringing in new units, and that's because every time he has brought in anything else and tried to rework it, it's that costs him more than just going new. So this is planned. So plans can change, but that's what he's communicated to me.
And you mentioned like not doing anything till things were brought up to code.
That was
like,
from the conversation with Emily.
Yes, but like what would that look like? Bringing things up to code.
It's
I
in
don't
the
understand.
zoning book, and it's like the flat roofs. It's supposed to be fenced in if it is along a neighborhood.
Exposed tongues.
Yeah, the tongues on the trailers.
Have to be removed.
We do have 2 trailers with exposed tongues and 2 flat roof trailers. Pretty sure about that.
But nobody's moving new ones in.
No, everything that's been moved in has been pre-approved here if it was not brand new.
But these are from years ago.
Everything was grandfathered in, but I believe the decision was at one point the council made, you can't move anything in until these ones are brought up to.
So they wanted to go back and change the rules on the ones that were already here. Is what I'm
And
understanding.
that's just.
And I'm gonna have to look at what was in.
Yeah, and that's just from the conversations with Emily, and I don't have a lot of background information.
We need more information, make a recommendation.
Was there anything else you had?
No.
There's one other thing for zoning. I've got Phil here, and I think he's interested in being on the zoning board. I'm not
I'm
sure.
interested in discussing it. I don't mind helping, I like to help, but I also like to know exactly what this entails, because, I mean, he may be okay getting shot at, but I don't want to get shot at.
That's a good point. And we can bring up Chief Seal's recommendation to, she's brought up some, was that an ordinance that you sent me?
It was in the zoning, 4 and 6 or something like that.
That was in the zoning for city
That's in
inspector?
Ordinance.
Yeah, that's an
and-
ordinance.
And zoning.
Article 4 says that where previously, I think it had been loosely interpreted that PD would do it, it actually states it should be the city inspector. And then Article 8 is dangerous structures and the like, which does list an enforcement officer, but it says the enforcement officer could be appointed by the city council.
This would be for people living in trailers, people living in unfit structures, like camping trailers.
Dangerous structures.
Yeah.
And then instead of going through the court, it would go through you as the governing body. It would be more of a civil side versus criminal side.
And I don't have a problem, I already reach out to these people that, you know, if they get reported someone's living in an unfit structure or in a camping trailer where they're not allowed to be, I don't mind reaching out to them by phone, but don't really enjoy going up to unsuspecting citizens acting as an officer, like in that regard. So, especially as if it's supposed to be a city inspector, I know we've talked about maybe becoming that someday. With my new job that I just got, I do not have the time to get this home inspector certification as we've discussed previously, so that is not really on my agenda at the moment. Maybe in a year or so when things kind of settle down for me, but not at this time. So for you, what basically the zoning board entails is we get permits for fences, buildings, the new subdivision, building new homes. Basically, it's as simple as getting with the homeowners, checking against the regulations of what they want to do is a yes or no and making a recommendation to the city council.
This isn't violation enforcement or even pointing out violation. This is just checking on, making sure that they're following with what they had already been applied and approved to have done.
I have not, well, it's also just been me for the last couple of years, so I have only been taking in new things. I have not been seeking out regulation violation.
Is that part of the job though?
Eventually it might be, when there's enough manpower for it.
So if we go slow enough, it'll never
In
become
that
part
kind
of
of
the
Well,
gray
I would say
area.
we don't focus on that until we have a full board.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't, it's just me
I
right
think,
now.
I
so-
think more or less now it's, you're making sure that, you know, somebody says they want a shed, that they've got the space to do it. And that they're not putting on an easement or, you know,
Staying
When do you guys have to
in
know
the
by?
setbacks.
When do you guys have to know by?
I don't think we're in any hurry.
Okay,
you got time.
I'll come back next month.
Like how many do we need for the board? 'Cause it's gotta be more than just.
You can have 7, or,
So I should
5.
have a minimum of 5 with only 2 outside the city limit seats.
I'd be one of those.
Well, so am I.
You better find some insiders.
That would be nice.
It would be nice to get people in the city involved.
Well, and that's really what I'd like to see if this kind of continues anyway, is it's starting to become a lot for one person, just. I've also had some things change in my personal life, requiring more hours. I no longer work from home. So that kind of takes away the flexibility that I had to do a lot of the stuff. I came directly from the office to get here in time. So
And that, can council be a part of that as well, just as long as there's not 3 members?
Has been in the past.
Can be.
One, isn't it?
Just as long as there's not a quorum.
I thought it was one.
I thought it was one council member.
We'll look into that too, figure it out. So,
I think it'd probably be a good idea to post it again. I know we probably didn't get much.
I can put it back up.
doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to keep it active. Anything else for Dylan? All right, Dylan, appreciate you.
Oh, you're reviewing the park stuff?
The park stuff.
The 500 pages from Pete.
500 pages.
I got through about 30 pages so far.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry, I had actually
You're fine.
forgotten about that. So,
you're fine. I'm just bringing it up, just to bring it up.
so that's the other thing is we have I've already got your phone number actually.
What's that?
You're the grasshopper guy, right? Yeah.
Probably.
Thank you for the reminder. I will. Which
problem.
which one do you guys want priority? The mobile trailer park or the city park?
The park.
The project.
Yeah, because we got stuff sitting. we can get
The
that
mobile
over.
park's been there since 2013, obviously, so.
Yeah, let's get the park rolling.
And they have moved trailers out, burned trailers and
Yeah.
so on. A lot of
Well,
those
and
old ones are going.
I had a long extensive conversation with the owner of the park. He seems like he's going in the direction that the city would, you know, at least that I would be in favor of making sure everything is done right. He has a good contractor that has called me every step of the process, and set up the times for inspections, so they're complying very, very well.
All right, Bill, thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Um, You didn't have to hang up the whole meeting unless you want to, so.
Oh, no, I'm interested.
Okay, just making sure,
This brings back her memories of being a
yeah,
handbill.
you know. All right. Next, Dustin, maintenance.
One tower updates.
What are we looking at?
Should be a fresh one. This company I was put in contact with through Jim Rowley over at Blue Water 506. When they took their tower out of service for 6 or 8 months to have it painted and everything, this is who they went through. And he said, I don't care if it's 2 hours, 2 months, 2 years, it's worth it. And I talked to him today and he got me this within an hour. It seemed pretty reasonable, but basically it's bringing in a big pressurized tank, a semi tank, and changing some settings on our VFDs at plant so that we could take the tower out. We would hook it up to the hydrant right by Casey's in the water tower because it's still on our system. So we would be feeding there and it would hold pressure for us and some volumes. We'd also get a couple of pressure relief valves or caps for hydrants through Jimmy over at Rural Water 5. He says we'll probably never use them again. We're welcome to borrow them. And so that'll help if the pressures go too high, pops off. This would keep us from breaking any lines. Essentially, I think they said about a half day of work to clean it all out and everything, but he's calling half day with look for. That doesn't mean we're only pumping or using this company for a day, because we still have to fill the tower back up, pull a sample off it, send it to KDHE, make sure there's no bacteria in it, and then we can put it back in service. So that's why there's a 7-day there instead of just like the 1 or 2.
So when we go to the tank and take the tower out, drain the tower, they clean it all, we refill it up, we switch over to that, we're sending water in to get tested, but are we, because that went all the way down, now we're back up, are we in a boil?
No.
No.
The lines, the
Uh-huh.
main lines will not lose pressure
Okay.
because of this pressure trait.
Okay.
The tower losing pressure obviously, but we'll have to fill it back up. And before we can connect that tower back into our system, we have to pull a sample out and make sure that the water's safe.
Okay.
Basically.
As long as we don't lose pressure system wide.
And the hydrant by Casey's is where?
Between cases in the water tower.
Right by like.
Where would the
Trash dumpster.
tanker sit?
Right there, right in the grass.
Isn't that where you plumbed into the water tower? Didn't they come across and
Yep.
plug into that hydrant?
Yep.
On the emergency measure?
Correct.
Okay, so we wouldn't be impeding Casey's parking or the daycare's parking with that.
Honestly, I'll block that alleyway,
Okay.
but we won't. You know, if it had to come between moving them 1 block around to keep our tower and water safe, we're gonna block that alleyway.
For sure.
We'll
Even
put
if
up
it's just a
barricades and
section.
stuff, but we should have plenty of room to get it off the pavement and keep it out of everybody's hair, which we don't want it out for somebody to run over a hose or anything. We want it out of the way. And so somewhere in that grass flat area is logically where it's gonna go. We could also pull it in through the gate in gravel if we have a lot of rain coming or something, because we're obviously going to park in the grass. It's raining. But we will also hook into the trailer and its pressure tank system. We'll hook a line from our transducer that is underneath the tower that tells us our pressure. And since it's not in cahoots, we have to have that sensor to tell us some stuff. So basically, we take the sensor from the tower and put it on the pressure tank for that period of time. So it'll be kind of running our plant the same with little tweaks. But I believe it's money well spent to keep us from making a bigger mess out of cleaning up stuff.
So this is two or more tanks to maintain 12,500. We got room for multiple tanks.
Oh, yeah. Or that whole, basically anywhere that property, like I said, we could pull underneath the tower in a couple of spots if we needed to, or in the drive, or just along there, along the concrete would be the ideal area for ease. Like I said, if it's gonna be a wet rainy day, we're gonna have to do a couple of things.
So what's the difference between these two proposals, other than the
They're two
amount?
separate things, they go
Okay.
in together. This company is doing the cleaning.
Oh, okay.
The other company is keeping our line pressure up.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was trying to
this is-
figure
this
out
is the
too.
griddle of the They're
pressurized
a combo
trailer.
deal. You've gotta
This
have
is
one
for the
with the other
company.
kind. They're not, companies aren't affiliated with each other, but they do with each other, I'm sure.
There's a lot of them.
Okay, so for one tanker is 76.50, and if we go with
Oh, so
two,
this is without the repair.
am I
I
reading?
see.
No, I don't know if he gave a tanker total.
It's 12,500
Yeah.
total gallons, two or more tanks. And that's your price for 7 days.
Basically,
Okay.
he's done up with a map thinking of what we're gonna need to do, what he's gonna need for a week. And he gave us the 1 week price, and then if we go over a week, each day is $343 or $345. Obviously, you have a mobilization fee on the first chunk, because that's why it's quite a bit.
So he doesn't think it'll take more than 7 days?
I don't think it'll take the 7 days.
I see.
So the only thing we'll have to wait on is the sample date. The
Oh,
sample
okay.
comes back
I gotcha.
clean, we're done.
I see.
We just have to be safe to the safe.
Is it in
You're
the,
thinking that this part, this isn't gonna take very long to do at
They
all?
didn't think it would take very long. He said probably half day, but he's gonna put it in a full day.
Oh, okay.
Is there a reason why I see the difference is $6,000 on this. Is there a reason why we wouldn't just have them go ahead and replace all the internal stuff? Ladders and the legs and,
Is that on the other bid?
yeah, on the bike?
Yeah, it's the $9,600 one.
That's not the one that's
And
being
that would
storage.
just come out
Are
of
we
the-
discussing them
we
together or
have it
keeping
all-
them
Yes,
separate?
they're
Kind of
Water
separate,
reserve.
it's the
is
same
there enough in
project.
there for?
Right, but I mean, it's
I don't know.
Yeah, this just.
doing this, I mean, this one's 3,600 and this one, you know, and really it looks like the only difference is the fact that they're gonna be doing a bunch of repairs inside of it.
I don't believe repairs were necessary.
Oh, okay.
Just real quick. The main thing is getting the inside.
Yeah.
That is priority number one.
The one that's getting it cleaned and the other one's just bringing it more up to,
Do we have
We
the,
don't need to worry about the fall arrest system and all that's the second one.
okay,
Different climbers like different styles.
Oh, the shell
They can
roof
put
ladders or
two
whatever?
Oh, okay.
Throw right here.
well, in your world, which one, what do we need?
We have the gear for the pipe.
Okay,
We have the gear to climb it as it is.
so,
And some of the things were like putting a lock on there instead of a bolt on top. Well, you climb 110 feet, get up there and take that bolt out.
Yeah.
But,
So your opinion is just that first one, that 36,
The
that
3600.
3600 is fine?
I believe that is the main.
'Cause I don't know anything about it.
I'm trying to put the, there's a fall
Looks to
arrest,
me.
I think the 36 is the one we want.
Okay.
So the front page with this page.
So the 9,600 is to add the fall rest and
And that's
Wind
the
guards.
stuff we don't need.
Okay.
other than that, it looks to me like it's the same thing.
It's,
yeah. Yeah,
So,
look the same.
so it's $6,000 more to do that,
I
and
know
this is what we need done.
Probably mostly labor.
So,
this.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
3,600 with,
All
We
the
did
other
still
one, we could
touch
do
up
some
on,
other day.
on the interior sediment over 3 inches Both of them say the same thing on that part, so. Gotcha.
Altogether, it's 11,250. For that 3,600 and then the 7,650. I make a motion, we approve the proposal for the water tank for improvements, clean it out, get it repainted for, say no.
Not repainted.
Huh?
Not repainted.
Oh, it's not?
Just no.
We have to do these separate though, right?
Separate. Clean.
Oh, got them separately?
I think we have to do these separate because they get paid in two separate bills.
Oh, shoot, okay.
So yeah, so I just need one for Viking for the 3,600 and then one for Tomcat for the 76.
I make a motion, we approve Viking proposal for the water tank for the amount of 3,600.
Second.
Motion made by Holly, second by Ron. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
I also make a motion that we approve Tomcat Consultants LLC for the amount of 7,650, also for the water tank.
Second.
Motion made by Holly, second by Ron. Any further discussion?
If it comes to the added expenses of $550 a day, that'd be approved by mayor.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
I'll deal with both those companies and court to see what coordination, when the starting date will be.
Do you just need me to email this to this email address? Find it and send it back.
Do any of
Yeah, I'll
these,
just text it at the meeting too, but yeah.
do any of these need my signature in them?
I think that
Yeah, you can sign this one if you.
Okay. The
The
Tomcat one?
Viking,
I got the park lighting update, we've got the reinforcement for the concrete pillars pretty much prepped up, tack load ready to go. Load gates put in, hopefully Thursday and Friday we can get the auger attachment for our machine and we're in a trencher so that we can get the hole put in the ground and get trenching and start running some conduit and everything, get that prepped. If everything works proper, possibly Monday, weather's cooperating. If not Monday, it'll probably be a few more days. I don't wanna do the concrete when it's gonna get cold. I know concrete heats up and it'll stay 50 degrees, but I want it to be 50. Give them all the chance they got. But we're working pretty good on that. And should see some stuff changing this week. Pretty soon.
You guys?
They're working good. Big John's in Jamaica, so we'll see him the 23rd.
Is this one you? Pavement?
Yep.
Okay.
That was just kind of an update on the park lighting.
No, that's cool. Happy to see it's moving forward.
It's moving along.
The
did I give you
equipment
a
helping you with
copy of
that?
this?
Oh, yeah. What's that?
I don't know, did I give you a copy of this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This morning, Sean from Pro Seal came in, gave me the estimate. And I told him he understood, wasn't sure if it would be this year or next year, but I think we should be looking at it because it's saving an awful lot of roadway. Basically, it pushes pause on the wear for a few years. So whatever the roads look like now, that's what it kind of stops it there. It penetrates in. We've used it before. That's the blue roads would be another treatment. Been over 5 years from now. But it is one of the cheaper. It's the cheapest per yard. That, along with this big from last year on asphalt, that's pretty much all that we can look at doing. This is last year's leftovers, which included Kansas, which we've been doing some more ditch work and starting to throw some more.
Are we looking at getting Kansas this year?
Well, we'll look at, see what their numbers are again,
Okay.
see how much we got. In a perfect world, I would like to be able to do a 2-inch at least on Kansas and do this preservation. But I don't know how that's gonna look. And another side of me says that maybe preserving this kicking Kansas down another year, we're saving a lot more streets than putting all of our eggs in one
Do we
basket.
have enough millions to
We do.
keep Kansas
We're,
going?
we're getting there now that we've got the equipment
Okay.
to do some stuff with.
So do we need to send bids out just for the 2-inch on Kansas and just see what the numbers are that
We
we
can get
get
the
back?
numbers just like this, see what they come back with, and we can pick what we can do.
I have a question on the new subdivision, because you got it on here as a new tree. With all the work in the building that they're continuing to do there,
Mhm.
are the roads holding up out there? And are there repairs needed due to their construction? And are we talking with them about paying for it, chipping in?
They're holding up pretty well. I haven't seen anything that was damaged that wasn't fixed. There was a bit of a slippage in the cul-de-sac, but they came back through, ripped it out and replaced it since, so. This is a preservative, basically.
Yeah.
And it's putting the pliability back in, so it absorbs in 3/8 of an inch minimum, probably more. And puts that softness back in, it keeps all the fines stuck down, so you don't get the spalling. So all the fines disappear, and you just got real chunky rock. It won't fix a crack, and it won't seal anything that's got a void, but it'll keep it pliable and good to keep water out, if that makes sense. If the road's got cracks in it, you gotta seal the cracks before you put those down. It doesn't, like, it's not chip seal, so it's not tar. It actually doesn't change the appearance of the road. It's just food for thought, as those are the
So we
big things.
held a little over from last year, and then we increased that road budget for this year.
Yeah.
In anticipation of doing Kansas
Correct.
And so hopefully there's enough in there to do Kansas, and then
and do this.
if there's any extra to do this, it'd be cool. We don't have to do everything, and this could be next year's, but
So we can't answer any of this until
No,
No,
until
we
we
have
get
a
bids for
number.
Kansas.
it's getting you all kind of on the same page with what I got.
Cool. Appreciate it, Dustin.
On Kansas, it's the same numbers and everything, we're not expanding in
Yeah,
anything.
same thing.
Okay,
Awesome.
You could almost go off of last year's, but probably not quite, you know. It'll give you a rough ball for. I think that's all I got for you.
Awesome. Anybody got anything else for Dustin? Maintenance?
just to bring up an old sore subject, where are we at with the docks and now we're moving into a new season?
The old one's gone. That finally got removed. I don't know where we're at with, what's his name, Cooper. I'm gonna come and move that other one. I'm basically just waiting for when he's got time to come out and move that 11 yards of concrete. I'm excited to see it move. I don't know.
what's
But
the, waiting for him to touch
Basically,
base with
whenever
him
he wants to
tomorrow?
come out there, we'll unhook the pin and.
Because at some point we need to move on.
Yeah.
Right,
We need to call somebody else.
right.
Correct.
If he can't get to it,
Even
And I
with
get
my new
he-
stuff, I can't move that far.
Okay, well,
You got a
I'll
new
call him
backhoe.
tomorrow.
It's 43,000 pounds. My backhoe's only 19. I hate it when I look at it every time. I go by it because it ain't fixing itself out there.
I know, and I've heard several fishermen complain.
I ain't been happy since we got it the first place.
Well, let's see what we can do to get it fixed.
We'll get on it.
Thank you, Dustin. Anything else? Have a good evening, Dustin. Looks like there's an executive session on here. Who was requesting that one?
Police department.
Hannah,
Yes.
you still being, okay,
Yes.
how long? And then
I'd
who
say
would you like here?
10 minutes and just cancel.
Just council, Lady Tom?
Just.
Okay. Sort of you.
Okay, thank you, Sasha.
Thank you, guys.
Better go 38. 48.
Bye, Phil.
You guys be good.
Good. I move that we go into executive session.
for police, non-elected personnel. For, what was it, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, at 20:38. Returning back here at 20:48 in the council. And it's the council, Chief Seals and Tom Barnes.
Motion has been made by Ron. Second by Kevin. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor to recess into executive session?
We're executive. We're in executive session for 10 minutes. And then sit down.
Alrighty, we are gonna bring Shannon up to the police department.
So, before we get into this stuff real quick, we did get the $1,000 check for, from the pipeline. And so we'll be able to apply that to our, electronics for our, electronic citation systems that are gonna be in the vehicle, so I was excited about that. Mariah's at training in St. Louis. She's scheduling training, she's working with the Attorney General's office, as well as several other agencies, big agencies, to bring in training to our department so that we don't have to go out, which will, build partnerships and be a great thing for us. We're still working through inventory. So I did find an answer on these cartridges for our tasers. The person that I talked to, it's an expert, said that they put the expirations on the tasers because they need to sell the cartridges. So he said they will shoot. He said he would put his himself on the line and say he absolutely will, even if it's expired, is going to shoot. And so that was something that I found out. And so then I can also go.
Did he say for how long? Like after expiration date?
He said he felt indefinitely.
Okay.
And I can probably get that statement written from him, but he said.
Who were you talking to?
His name was, I did not write it down. It's actually on
Red
the,
guy,
it's on the, yeah, it's this guy.
Red Graver,
Yeah, no.
or is that the other one?
No, this guy was Jeffrey Winger, CEO of the accreditation.com. So if we want to segue real quick into we were going to talk about tasers anyway. So I did find out from him that they do have the batteries for the tasers that I've been calling around and trying to research for the last year on the tasers that we bought that came with no battery. And I was told by several that there was no batteries left. And this guy actually has the batteries. They are, you guys have a quote on there for the batteries. So that's just a letter from him. That's stuff I received in the mail. It happened. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna check this guy out. So past that, I just gave you a screenshot of what the batteries cost. And then what the purchase of the software and reset equipment costs. I actually found cords that may work, and so we may not even have to do this part, the data port download. We just gotta see if those data ports work. So as I was doing inventory, so if you take the battery out of a taser, it zeroes it out. It doesn't have the date, it doesn't have the stuff that makes it admissible in court. And so that's fine for private, but for us, we need all the settings.
I didn't know that there was data stored in this.
Yeah,
So,
there's data stored in those, and then in each cartridge you have paper that comes out, and it's actually got numbers on it that you have to record when you do when there's a taser deployment in a use of force situation. So, yes.
We have, I know you found the cable, and we can test the cable, but do we need to have a fresh battery in the taser to see if it works?
Right, and so we'll have to order the batteries. So what we have right now is we have 4 of those tasers. I would like to get 2 of the batteries because I asked for 2 tasers. The refurbished, if you look at the tasers, the cheapest one is $6.99. So if we bought batteries for the ones that we have, it's going to be about half that. And so what I would request is that we buy a couple batteries, get those, and then see if the cord that we have will work to upload the software that is on that particular item, the data port. He said that it should be in the data port, but we won't know until we get a couple batteries, put them in the tasers, and, try it out. So a couple batteries, would be 269 times 2. And we
What's
can go
the-
from there.
What's the rebate?
That is if we sent them, if we had batteries, old batteries out of the ones that we have and sent them in.
Cool.
Kind of like a core charge,
Okay.
with the vehicle. We don't have those batteries because we bought them,
Oh,
we bought them without a battery.
The ones on 31725, you bought those ones without a battery?
Yes. Because we were told we could get them pretty easily and then we ran into a problem.
Oh, cause it said in the minutes that you've got 2 refurbished tasers and batteries. So, I don't know. I wasn't aware that they didn't come with batteries. But it's the X26s that you got.
So it may have been the batteries. We have batteries for 2 different kinds. We have the ones that we've already had that we ordered. So we may have been just ordering for that. And they plug into those, but they didn't plug into these X26s.
that's pretty good. These batteries have 10-year shelf life.
So those are 2 different, so there's 2 different
So
couples
there-
of tasers?
Yeah, so there's the ones that we bought last year,
Mhm.
are refurbed, came without batteries. We ordered batteries. And I'll have to look, but off the top of my head, they would have been for the ones we've had previously. So we've had tasers before. We've had
Right.
it for a while.
I think we just
Yeah.
replaced the batteries on those ones
Yeah.
instead of buying new tasers
Right.
at that
And so
time.
that's what I'm attempting to do at this time. And yeah, it's something where you need to call and research and I'm still not completely always straight on what, because there's several different taser models as you can see,
Yeah.
and different batteries and then different ways to carry like an extra cartridge.
Yeah.
So it's not real straightforward.
Yeah, no, I was reading up on it and it said there's the Taser 710, X26P, X2, X1. And I think they even said that the X1 was like the more lethal one and even they're banned in some places.
Right, yeah.
And so those are the ones that the batteries are actually still in production, is what I read. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's several different kinds that the batteries are in production, and then there's some that are even for private people. So, I mean, you can go buy a taser, so there's a lot.
Yeah, no, there
There's
was,
a lot.
yeah.
So with that 10-year shelf life that they say on there, do they warranty it for that 10 years?
I certainly could ask that, cause I mean, we're still in the process of figuring all this out, so
Yeah.
that's something I can talk to him about.
I had read online that most refurbished tasers come with a 1-year warranty.
1 year. I mean, that sounds about right. I was just curious because it did say
Yeah.
10-year shelf life. That'd be
And
kind
I'm
of.
sure I
I
read it
think-
somewhere, but I don't wanna say when I don't remember.
No, you're okay. And then I think most refurbished, the guns themselves, I think it's a 3-year, what'd they say, 3-year expected lifespan, I think is what it said, for the gun itself.
Oh, really?
But the battery, I think, is a 10-year.
Oh, even if you don't use it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
We might
That's
look
just what I
into
read
that.
online.
I've only used mine
Google could be wrong.
once.
So the batteries
Can't be wrong.
themselves are
We-
technically good if will last up to 3 to 4 years in the field if you spark test no more than once.
A day.
Oh, I thought it was tested weekly.
Normally, we just spark test them once a day. You just get up, it's part of your equipment. You know, I look at my equipment, I make sure that everything looks like it's functioning. Obviously, I don't shoot my gun every day, but I spark test when I have a taser right now. I've given my taser to one of the officers. So I get up, I do all my stuff, I go through my things to make sure that they're all charged up and ready to go. So usually it's spark test, and spark test is just taking the thing off and pulling the trigger once, and it sparks or it doesn't. So there's those.
This is just information tonight, right? You're wanting to
That's
gather more
information,
with
yeah.
bring
So
it
working through it. Then on the.
So we're
radio-
not wanting to buy 2 batteries today?
At some point, I wanna buy 2 batteries, but I'm not gonna, if you guys want more time to look at them, I don't have a problem with that.
But if you get the 2 batteries today, then you'll know if those cords work.
That's true.
Correct.
Yeah.
So maybe there should be action on at least 2 batteries.
You want 3?
Does say times 3 on here though.
It said times 3. I have four tasers total, and I started out with just 2 tasers. But if we could get 3, that would be ideal. So, if we can start out with 2, I'd be happy with that. I'm just not trying to
Two
push
at least
anything.
gets tasers on a couple other officers, then you can carry one yourself too.
Yeah. That's true.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Would it be wise, since you don't even know, well, yeah. So you don't even know if the tasers that you're getting the batteries for work? You don't know if they work or not?
I haven't had a battery in them yet, but that's another thing that I want to talk to him about and see if they don't work, then if I can send them back and do something different.
How many tasers do you have up and running right now,
We have 4.
operational?
No, 11. It's on my inventory.
Well, you gave yours to,
So we have. I'm asking for. So we have 3. So we have the guys. We have Blake, Kevin, Zach, and then Mario. So we have 3. That we've had for years.
So the $5.99, I see there's one on the front here for $5.99. Is that a refurbished?
Yes.
Does it come with the,
Let's see. I'm sorry. It's, which one?
X26.
On the front.
599.
yeah, the X26?
26s.
Oh yeah, on the one page, it's these, sorry, should have done it.
It's okay. Do those,
That's $5.99. I can ask what those come with.
yeah, I'm just curious if they come with the taser, the battery, you know, cause they're kits online. And those kits, they come with the taser, the battery and the holster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just.
So I'm just curious what it comes with.
Okay, I can find out. I can do more research.
Did he indicate the turnaround time on the batteries?
He said they've got them in stock. He sent them anytime.
So if we ordered one battery, we could test all of the
That's true.
tasers you have and then order more.
Yeah, if you need, yeah, that would be all right.
That way we're not,
But still see if they don't work, they'll let us, they just
Yeah.
need a battery.
Yeah. Or we might be able to trade them for something.
So you want a battery?
Please.
I would do one, that's what I would think.
That'll work.
I move that we order one taser battery for the police department to test with at the price of $269.95.
Motion made by Ron. Second by Kevin. Any further discussion? Did you have something, Jeff?
No, not in battery.
Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor? All those opposed?
Aye.
What's that?
Aye.
You opposed? Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
All in favor, except for Holly. Holly opposes. Motion carried.
Am I missing what the difference is between the 2 pages?
we think it's black and white.
One's black, one's yellow.
Or yellow.
Yeah, so here's the.
So the same exact one is $5.99 because it's black.
Yeah, the yellow
It's
is 100 more.
$6.99
Sure.
because
if
it's-
That's what it
there
looks
might be a
like.
difference. That's the front, and then that's
Yeah,
the
that's the
back.
only thing it looks like. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're like less desirable because they're
At first I thought I was looking at the difference of new versus refurbished, but
all,
that didn't make sense.
yeah.
I mean,
Just don't want test it.
So the, yes, sorry.
Do you want to do radios or the Durango?
Okay.
Well, real quick, the radios
sorry.
should go really fast.
Okay.
Radios, we've got one, we go through TBS, they do our programming. And he sent me a quote for a new radio, which is all the pages, from Motorola, and then, there's an email where he sent me one, he said they have, one that they have refurbished for 2,500. So just getting that ahead of you, or in front of you, because that's something that you need everybody to have radios when they're
How many radios are you short now?
just one.
Just one radio short? Okay.
So, and when we got the radio, we did the radio project, 3 years ago now. We didn't have as many officers. And so
Correct.
it's actually a pretty good thing. So there's that to look at. And that's just, I don't need a decision. That was part of when you asked me for stuff that we needed. I want to get ahead.
No, for sure.
On the quote, device programming, wouldn't the county program it?
There's two separate things that they do. So TBS does their side of the programming.
Oh, okay.
And then we take it down to the sheriff's department and they do their side of the programming. But it's two separate things.
Oh, okay.
So like when I got radio in the truck or when we got the radios in general, we have to have stuff done at TBS and then we have to go and they have to be more specific encryptions at the sheriff's department.
Okay. Well, appreciate the information. As you go through more inventory, I do like having information presented like that.
Absolutely. And we should get the inventories finished in the next week. And then we'll have, I don't know how you guys want me to present that to you.
I was just, I guess you've been dropping it here a little bit, there, so.
I
But
can
if
give
you
you
have like a
full
master
one.
list or something?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I can give that to you. We also have reviews done, so whenever you want to look at those.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to come in sometime this week. Maybe Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is this just for one radio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one handheld.
I was actually, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying they're kind of pricey for the radios.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
They're not.
We've tried other ways to get radios. We
I
found
didn't
some
mean to
cheaper
interrupt
ones
you,
and then
Holly.
they were not able
doesn't
to
matter.
get them programmed, so. What was your question?
I'll just do a follow-up because it's on some previous items.
Was it within the police department or?
Yeah. Do you want me, I can just go ahead and ask.
Yeah, we can do it now while we got you in the maker.
I was just curious how your purchase of the 9mm went. With the little over 5,800 that was on 119. I was just curious how that went and how many guns you.
It went well and everybody received, has a 9mm. So, it went well. And the whole deal, went really smooth.
That's where we traded in, right?
Yeah,
And
we
then used
traded
some
in,
Tahoe money,
so
didn't
we used Tahoe money, then maintenance donated some money from selling their truck, cause they got what they wanted, they gave
Wow.
me money. And then, and then we traded in, I went in and they were able to take in our ammunition. We are set to pay some more, cause we got more updated ammunition. We didn't have as much as we needed back. So yeah, it went well.
How many 9mm out of curiosity did you get?
Well, we have 5.
Oh,
So we have, and they have the full sights on them, which is this, and that increased our, it increased the accuracy for our officers, and they say for every officer. I believe it was Kevin's shot 100% on his squall at the captain.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just pretty good.
Was there anything else, Holly?
Not yet.
You wanna-
So on the Durango, I called several different places. There was a confusion with Cable Dahmer. She thought for some reason that apparently we had our Tahoe down there, and so she thought it was a Tahoe that she was even working on. When she found out it was a Dodge, she said, "No." Let me talk to my manager, and the manager was not okay with that. And so she said that they would absolutely ask them to work on it, but she would prefer not. So I went ahead and reached out to service advisor at Briggs Dodge, and I also reached out to Automotion because that was something that Chad had mentioned. I reached out to a few other people that were not interested because of all of the equipment and all the stuff that is on police cars. They are, So they reserve the right to. So this is the quotes that I got. William Reed, 27,775.90, and he's with Briggs. Carbondale Coronado 239276. And then out of motion is the 288494.
How many vehicles do you currently have that's working,
That's working. We have 3 that are working.
that you can drive?
Yeah.
How many officers are typically on duty at once?
Depending. So lately it's been more than usual because we are working on training. We've got 2 officers that we're trying to get trained. So it's been 3 at a time because we have a training officer and we have 2 officers. That's obviously not gonna be normal operations. So, yeah. So normally it'll be 1 or 2, depending on where we overlap during the week.
So while you're looking at those, one of the reasons why I did mention automotion is they do have a mechanic there that worked for the, is it the county or the city? Anyways, he worked on police cars.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Full disclosure, it is my brother.
Ah, okay. All right.
That's,
Yeah.
I know where he's at and everything. So that was one of the reasons why I mentioned him.
We did go through the process of trying to figure out if it would be advantageous for the city maintenance to go get the vehicle and get it winched up on the trailer and get it into town. And when Dusty went and looked at it, he felt like it was probably more than they wanted to do, and so he recommended that I call Swisher. So I talked to Swisher. He said $200. So that'll be that'll have to be something we add onto the bill if we decide to take it somewhere else. But that's completely to him. That's just full disclosure.
But all of this has to be done before we find out if the motor's
If the
blown.
motor's blown, right?
If we sold the vehicle as is, what kind of money do you think that you would be able to get?
I don't honestly know.
Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, we sell them through Purple Wave, don't we? We don't sell them
Yeah.
any other way, do we? Or
We
have we?
haven't in the past, well, in the recent past, so, we started selling in Purple Wave probably 18 or 19.
I guess
So the state with the KDOT sells on Purple Wave a lot.
we would just kind of be at the discretion of
Right.
what somebody else thought it was worth to them.
You know, this is a hard situation,
This is a really hard situation.
because we don't know. And so
You're taking
That's why-
You
like
guys,
all of you guys are,
we gotta spend this money to find out
Yeah, I know.
rather than spending 20 grand on a new motor.
And I mean, we've got 3 vehicles. I mean, once these guys are trained, you guys might have 2 vehicles at once moving around. I don't know.
Yeah.
And what about the other Dodge?
it's
You got it. Yeah, I got an oil change and an oil cooler put on today.
right, so it doesn't have this problem. So, yeah, it's whatever direction you guys wanna go, this is completely.
Well, the longer it sits, the more stuff that goes bad on it. That's my opinion. Being
You're saying that all this has to be done before we know the motor is good.
Before they can even test the motor, yeah.
Right. But then once we know the motor is blown, we're definitely not gonna be able to get even pennies on the dollar. It's gonna be,
Well, they're gonna consider it blown right now anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I
Right.
say you're gonna get pennies on the dollar.
that's true.
Because if it won't start and run and they can test everything out, you're not gonna,
What's a new motor usually run? I have no idea.
honestly, in that probably, I'd say you're probably pushing 10.
6 to 10 altogether, yeah.
This is a 21. We bought it in 23.
Yes, I believe so. 22 or 23, I'll have to go back and look.
Do we know what the mileage actually is in it?
Well, there's 2 separate there's the idle,
Right.
Idle
Oh
time,
yeah, that's
and
right.
then there's the mileage.
Yeah, idle. And
I don't know what it is off the top of my head, I know it's less than 100,000.
It's less than 100,000 and it's already got some of these big issues.
Well,
When you think about how long they
sits
run.
and idles, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
There was a couple of years where law enforcement was buying Durangos and they, in the first 20,000, they were blowing engines. The county had a couple that they had to send to Kansas City to get fixed. So it's one reason, I guess, that everybody's moving away from Durangos. Of course, if we'd done that, we probably would have made a little bit different decision, but hindsight's 2020, so. Yeah.
I make a motion, we sell it on Purple Wave. I don't see the point in putting almost $3,000 into a vehicle that we don't even know that the motor's good, and then we're gonna have to spend upwards of 10, 12 grand on a possible motor, or even buy a new vehicle. I mean,
So a motion's
Especially
been
when we
made by
got-
Holly to sell it on Purple Wave. Is there anybody who wants to second that? There is no second, so.
we've got 3 vehicles running.
We do have,
Was that a second? Okay, so
How is what's the condition of the Explorer? The
it's
Ford.
it'll be the one that leaves next. When we,
it's sealed, just
so
on the
we are,
fleet.
yeah, we're,
I don't
every other year, we're trying to cycle one out and cycle one in. And so,
I mean, it's a good.
that's the plan.
Well, there's no second to sell, so now we are back to which bid, or do we want to think on it? Let it sit? Move on?
Table it.
If there's no action, I'm gonna move no action. Alright. We'll slide it out another one, Shannon. No action.
I'll let them know.
Was there anything else?
I believe so, I think. Otherwise,
You get the other one back tomorrow, or you got it back today?
I'll get it back tomorrow. I need to order parts,
I got
so. work on
you. Do that oil cooler and all
Uh,
the things.
Yeah.
Cool.
So next week, so Mariah's in St. Louis this week. I'm working with the guys all this week on their FTO. Next week, Mariah will be back. Kevin will go back to Academy for SFSTs, which is standard field sobriety testing, and INTOX certification. He didn't pass the first time, so which happens, and so that's why I set up the opportunity to go back and get that done. And so I'm confident that he will get that done this next week, and then we'll have him back, and we'll start working out a schedule.
Okay. Cool. Is there anything else for Shannon?
I got another question on this. Is this, so Briggs didn't give you a detailed
No, that's what he sent me.
what they would do? Okay, so it's parts, labor, flush.
That's what I got in the email. I talked to him on the phone and I explained to him that I didn't wanna have to drag the vehicle down there if I didn't have to for, $200. So he said, well, this is what's the problem? I told him what the problem was. I told him what the parts and things that were needed. He said he'd go through and get the parts. He did that and then sent me this.
Okay. All right, in that case, I move to send it to Automotion to be repaired, potentially repaired for the 2,888.
Motion made
$2,884.94.
Motion made by Chad to have it sent to Automotion. Is there a second? No second? So no action still?
Okay.
We will, if you're good, Shannon, everything's good? Thank you. We'll move on to prorating utility bills.
On the utility bill, so right now, we, I tried to explain it the best I could on here. It's billed per account, not by premise. And we get a lot of upset people. So we've been asked to bring it to you again by our citizens. And so I kind of typed it out there, how it's billed, our minimum billing. And if you guys want to prorate bill or leave it as is.
So prorate as in they leave in the middle of the month.
Yeah, cause it's been discussed that if, you know, somebody moves out on the 3rd, they still have a bill for the following month for the full price of the minimum. And then the new tenant has a full price for the same bill for the same month.
Right.
And so basically, you know,
Sometimes one of them uses over their 1,000 gallons, sometimes another one uses 3,000 gallons. But we can prorate it and our utility system should be able to do all of that.
Would you be able to do a cost analysis to see what that would look like?
We can ask Jayhawk.
I feel it's a great idea to be able to prorate them.
Yeah, that does
You know.
make sense.
It makes sense as long as you're not having to do anything
It's-
manual.
Yeah, it's hard to do, you know, it is time consuming to do that math manually though.
If you're doing it, if it's not done in the system, then you stand a chance of there being inconsistency from one person to another.
Yeah.
I'm on the 8th, I'm on the 29th, you know, kind of deal. But if it's in the system is set to do it, I would say,
We
yeah.
talked about it a little bit today and reached out to Jayhawk to see, and we just haven't got an answer back.
This would be interesting to learn more on,
Okay,
for sure. I think this is a great topic to bring back up with more information.
You said Jayhawk, is it Neptune or?
No, it's Jayhawk.
What's Jayhawk?
so Neptune is our meter company. Jayhawk is our billing company that does.
It's actually not, Jayhawk is the software, the company is
software.
Advantage Computer Solutions and they're out of Paola,
Iola.
Iowa.
We'll see what more information we can gather on that, Emily. Appreciate that. Summer reading program,
They're looking for donations. Typically, we donate $100 every year.
I make a motion, we donate $100 to the summer reading program at the Carbondale Library.
Second.
motion has been made by Kevin and second by Holly. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Extension requests,
No, you got, no,
looks like there's 4.
Yes.
making less.
No, extension request, is this on water payments?
Yes.
City bills, water, trash, sewer. As a whole,
So we have one in the middle there, gets a extension request every month. By the time he pays, the new bills comes out and he pays online. And so it doesn't necessarily flag it or anything like that. So looking more into it, if you just glance at it, you can tell that the payments have been made. But it looks like here recently, there's been balances being left. And so I'm afraid he's gonna get too far behind and not be able to
Have you
catch up.
talked to him to find out why?
And so, I just noticed it when I was typing it up today and I started looking into it more, so I'm not. But if we approve it this month, then I think we can let him know it needs to get paid in full and,
like reach out afterwards.
yeah.
And
I move we accept the extension request.
Sorry.
motion, by Ron, second by Kevin. Any further discussion?
So just to clarify on that one, the agreement is to pay the balance in full
Mhm.
or risk shut off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been happening.
I would communicate that with him.
So, okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Anything off agenda?
I thought we needed
Yeah.
IT on there again, but I wasn't.
Yeah, no,
100% sure.
That's not on the agenda, but it is.
I've followed up with Dalton at NCS, Dominic at Century. I reached out to ISG in Lawrence. And then last week also I reached out to IT Solutions, they're out of Kansas City, and Results Technology out of Topeka. Results Technology is a national company, but they have an office in Topeka now, I guess. So I'm still waiting to get quotes back. The only ones I've heard back from were Dominic and Dalton at NCS, so. But I would like to see what these other ISG especially, and then the Results Technology, but that's where those are at.
You said you had quotes for two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I can bring those in next meeting. I just wanted to get them, all of it.
Anybody got anything to follow up on?
I was curious on the 512 South First Street, the homeowner, have they paid that $1367.50?
Yes. That's the one that was at the last meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Awesome.
and we removed the lock off the meter, but it is still shut off. And the account's active and billing every month.
So question about the locks on those. Is that something that can be done when we shut off the meter?
I think
So
we
that it
discussed
doesn't
it last
get-
meeting, and anytime there's a shut off, they're gonna lock them now.
Cause that would take care of the problem of somebody going out and turning it back on. Emily, repeat what you just said.
We took the lock off, but we left the water off at their request, cause they still have a leak,
Okay,
but their service is activated.
okay,
So they're still paying the minimum bill even if they don't use it?
okay, that's what
Because they're
that's where I wanted the
Cause
clarification
they're
for.
using the sewer
Correct.
Okay,
and trash service.
So there's still that
Okay, so-
full city bill as a whole.
My question is, are we allowing them to go out and turn it on to use as needed then?
I mean, they've paid the bill.
Yeah,
They
technically.
can't touch the meter,
Correct.
and he's been doing it in the past.
Oh, he
That's
has.
why it's locked,
Mm.
was
was locked.
I believe we allow licensed plumbers, so if you had a plumber come out, they could, but should he be? No.
He should not be, but with his account active, I guess that would hit the,
This council wanted locked.
yeah, that would hit the, if that's what you guys want. I mean,
his account's
have
active,
somebody-
he's just got a leak, so
Well,
it's turned off.
I'm just gonna say that I
Well, if there's been a current reading, you're gonna know that meter's turned back on.
I was gonna say, if it's been turned back on, then we know he's turned it on. Then it
And
either
the
gets
city
locked.
guys- Yeah,
So
so
monitor the usage.
monitor
We're not
the
gonna
use.
give another discount, or not even, I wouldn't say discount.
Concession.
Yes.
Speaking of monitoring, did you happen to have time to call Neptune and see if there was a way in that program to flag inactive
we
or
can.
even active? Oh, you can?
Yes. So we'll monitor it.
Oh, nice, good. So we may not even have to make a concession.
correct. Anything else to follow up?
I don't know if it'll be a follow-up on the next part or not.
Well, we don't have much left to follow up.
Well, it was just, it was a question about having the motion that we looked at.
Oh, I got you.
Yes, that's something to.
And that's a Tom question.
This is true, we were gonna ask Tom. Tom also stated that one of the times that we did bring it up to him, that most cities don't pay their bills until after it's approved by city council. And so I think the motion stayed there to show that the bills were at least seen and was reported.
That's how I remembered it as well.
Was that correct, Tom?
Yeah, most cities that I know, there's a motion to pay bills.
But because
Well,
we
that's the way
already,
ours has always been in the past, but most of our bills are paid.
and then we just see the check that was mailed
Before.
out.
Well, it used to be because if we didn't, we got late fees. And then the city office would have to call that company and explain to them. And, some of them, like the Verizon company, you're called Verizon.
Right, but my question, I guess my
For an hour.
concern, or my thought is, if we're saying, well, we don't like this bill, well, we've already sent the check out.
True. there's that side of it too.
So
you either gotta
what's the
decide
point
if-
of even looking at it at that
Yeah.
point? Because they paid the bill.
Well, you're supposed to be
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
where this money is going.
It covers you.
And I don't understand your what you're doing, the way you're doing it is you're ratifying the payments after the fact. Which I don't know that I would feel comfortable as a council member doing that.
So how
I
do
would
you-
just, you would have your bills that come due at the beginning of the month, you have 2 meetings. So you make sure that those that are gonna be due before the 15th are paid at your mid-month, and those that are due by the end of the month are paid by your first, or pardon me. Those that are due by the 30th are paid at your 15th meeting. Those that are paid, or that are due to be paid by the 15th are actually addressed in your first meeting of the month.
So that way you're preemptively,
Yes,
you're ahead of it instead of behind it.
you're ahead of it instead of behind it.
Right.
But
I think that was the full intention of the way they used to do it, but it just ended up being where
But, you know, what you need to say is,
Should we correct that action?
I'd feel more comfortable if you were paying them after you all have reviewed them. Because it's awful hard to unring a bell.
Right.
Okay.
And I don't know that it's gonna be such that you're gonna have such recurring late fees if you're making sure that all of those that come due by the 15th of the month, you've addressed at your first monthly meeting.
Okay, so when we had this discussion before, it was that Shannon's vehicle needs worked on, we approved that. Maintenance needs something, we approved that. The office needs something, we approved that. Any recurring bills such as contracts and all that, we don't necessarily have to approve. We can approve after the fact. And I don't remember, that was somebody in this room, well, maybe not these two, but
So basically, you're
This
saying
was
we already
just-
approved to spend the money, and then we're approving to spend the money again.
we've approved the contract. So with Jayhawk, we have recurring fees with them. We've approved that contract. So we don't have to approve that bill every time she writes it. We have to approve the renewal of contract. Somebody coming and wanting $100 donation, or Shannon needs work on a vehicle, that we approved beforehand.
So you want the tractor supply bill to be approved beforehand? Things like that, even though they're already purchased under the purchasing policy?
But he has the right to spend a certain amount of money.
Right.
Same as the mayor has a right to a certain amount of money. So they're approving that on their, on the purchasing.
Right. Right.
So I don't see where we need to change anything.
You may be right. I've just never seen it done the way that you guys are doing it.
Yeah, like I say, it used to be, we saw the check and we signed it, we put our initials on it, and then that went out. And then it changed, at some point where we just got the check stub. And that's what we're looking at, and so that's where it changed on the thing, where it's just, we looked at the bills. Because it was, we approve the bills. Well, we don't approve them because they're already paid.
Well, we have approved them.
So
Yes.
when you sign a contract to buy a house, the monthly mortgage payments, do you look at the payment that's gonna come out before it comes out? You see what I'm saying? Or do you look at it after it's come out? To make sure it hasn't fluctuated in some.
Well, I don't know, yes, I
I
look
pay
at my,
mine.
No.
I look at my payments, but I'm reviewing my payment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not approving that payment because it's gonna come out one way or the other because I will make that.
Yeah, but you pay the check, or do you do it online? You take some action to deliver the funds.
Right.
I guess, like I
This
said,
is just one way to safeguard, make sure that,
Either way, we're gonna have a motion for either looking at them or
Yeah.
approving them.
yeah, it's.
Do we wanna approve them first, or do we wanna look at them after they're already paid? One way or
Well,
another.
I think you're obligated to look at it.
I get it, I'm just asking which way they wanna make a motion to approve them or make a motion for reviewing them. It's gonna be a motion
I'd be
regardless,
good to approve myself.
so move them to approve.
Yeah, I'd like to look at them before we approve them, because if we have a question or an issue on some dollar amount that we've approved on a contract, but the contractor has decided to charge us $50 more for some hidden fee that they've decided to come up with.
That require
I
a motion,
wanna
Tom?
question that dollar amount.
Well, I believe,
And
I believe that there's some kind of ordinance or something saying that we have to approve this in our meeting. I believe it's part of this meeting.
Yeah.
It's written. I think I thought you brought that to us before.
I think we had it at a meeting. I can't remember how it was worded though.
I don't remember the wording.
Then that would mean we'd have to approve them before they're paid.
I mean,
Well, that means we gotta follow whatever that writing says we're supposed to do.
but
But if they say it's approved, then that would
Okay,
tend
so
to say.
which
like,
is it approved or not? I don't have that in front of me, so
Yeah,
I
I
can't tell you what
can't,
it says.
you know, I can access things off of the state statutes if I've got service in here, and I do not have service in here.
I have.
I get below that hill and I can't look at it.
What are you looking for?
City code on bills, paying bills.
From statute?
Yeah, under the
Of
KSAs.
oh,
While she's looking at it, I got a question.
Okay.
I know where I stand and I know where Holly stands. I'd like to know where the rest of the council stands on moving forward with the police vehicle. Or are we just gonna leave it set? It's already been setting. I'm trying to get some action done so we know which way to go. And Holly's doing the same. She's just got a different approach. So,
I'm leaning towards selling it.
I mean,
Holly.
I
mean-
completely understand wanting to get it fixed.
Yeah, because you spend the money, and I get it. It could be $2,800,
okay,
and nothing be wrong with the money.
let me ask this. We went out and spent $23,000 on a new maintenance truck. Blew the motor in
You put the motor.
6-8 weeks.
Yeah.
We put a whole new motor in it.
I mean,
So
but that was a truck in what, 6 to 8 weeks. This vehicle's been constantly running for what, 4 years?
And how long have we had that? How long has the police department had that?
3
vehicle?
years?
I wanna say it's been 3 years.
3 years.
Well,
So
we're in the third year. We bought it, I think,
got
in
it.
23.
I think, yes, 23.
And that vehicle's been getting more abuse than that maintenance truck is.
I just, you see what we got out of the Tahoe, that's what we're gonna get out of this vehicle. We're gonna get about $1,200, $2,000 out of this vehicle.
Yeah. I mean,
I just don't think its life expectancy is done yet.
Well, I mean, if the engine's going with this,
No,
are you gonna spend 10, 12 grand for the new motor in it?
it's better than 38,000 for another one that we don't know what's gonna happen.
But why do we need another one is my whole point.
Yeah.
We have 3 running vehicles right now.
At the moment.
Do we have 3 police officers on the clock at the same time? Do we need those 3 vehicles?
Well, then we're going to have to take Mariah's vehicle back. She will no longer be able to drive it home.
So we've got 4 vehicles.
There's 3 total. Chief takes her truck home every day and Mariah takes her cruiser home every day, leaving 1 running, 1 here.
So that leaves the Explorer here.
So
And it's our oldest vehicle, so if it goes down, now we're down to Chief's and Mariah's vehicle, both of which they take home. So now we gotta pull, I mean, even now, we're looking at, if we've got 2 people on, we've gotta pull one.
You look at it this way, for the time being. Just leave them all here.
That's my next question. Why do we have two officers bringing two vehicles home? I mean, if we have an emergency situation, we would only need one officer that has a vehicle in the house.
Actually.
She lives in town, so I could see her maybe taking hers
Well,
home.
so for Mariah it was approved through council for Mariah to be able to take her vehicle so she could respond in an emergency to the city because she's second in command.
Mhm.
And so if I wasn't able to respond, she's gonna respond, or we both may respond. We've had a couple of people that were blockaded and we had to, set up, we had to deal with situations. When the situation happened north of town, we were all called in at that point and we all jumped in vehicles and ran to that situation. So it was approved and suggested through the council that she be able to respond in her vehicle. And so, she's a sergeant, that's why. But I appreciate the ability to have mine because I can wake up in the middle of the night and answer the call. I've been called in the middle of the night.
And they do take Shannon's truck from her house if they need be.
And if they need it, there's been occasion where they have taken the vehicle. So we try to.
But would there
manage it all.
be an occasion where one of them can take Mariah's? If need be.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I'm just asking, just curious.
Yeah,
If that- Like if you needed yours and the other two just happened to be on at the same time,
right.
one of them could take hers
You could have her
for the
leave
time
first.
being and then
Yeah.
the other one could have the other one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could essentially do with
We can
the
make whatever
three vehicles, at least for the time being, and then we can explore the
Yeah,
option of maybe getting the.
we will make whatever work, we are adapting overcome.
I mean, I just feel like spending the $3,000 to see if that's all it needs. Could be worth it.
And
There just wasn't agreement on it.
what vehicle is that?
It's the 2021 Dodge Durango. My concern going to the same point that Holly made though. I mean, we have three vehicles. The Ford Explorer is the oldest. It is the highest mileage.
It's about to go out.
That's
Out of
And we've had issues with it
yeah.
in the past. It's been doing pretty well lately, but
I mean, we put as it was going back and forth to Academy, it had multiple issues, and so it's set here to get fixed. So
Tom, did you figure anything else there?
I get where you guys are saying, do we take the chance? But I don't know. I mean, $2,800 for possibly nothing wrong with it isn't that much. $2,800 to find out if it's completely dead and then we're done.
I mean, even if the Explorer does go out, we can still have two vehicles and we'll have time to get another vehicle if we actually, decide at that time to get the third vehicle. There's 4 vehicles, I don't know.
Tom, what did you find out?
Well, we do not see anything other than it's expected that you will pay bills. And it'll be an open process. So, I guess if your policy is that you look at the bills after they've been paid, if you're comfortable with that, then you proceed on with it. But I know what I would do if I was a council member. And that would be, I'd set this up so that we know that those bills that are gonna come due before the 15th, we act on at the beginning, at that first meeting of the month.
What happens if we have a storm and we're not open though? How do we,
A special meeting the next day.
So should they motion and second it, or should they all vote individually on it?
it's however they wanna do it. I mean, I would, if everybody's comfortable doing this motion to look at the bills, motion saying that we've looked at the bills and we're fine with the payment. But again, that's like slamming the door on the barn after the horse is out.
Right.
If you've got one in there that you say, this is not right.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get money refunded. I can tell you that right now.
I mean, that's half the time why I don't even look at it.
And I have cities that meet only once a month. And I can tell you that they are sitting there. The sheet goes around with all of the bills listed. And while it's going around, the mayor is signing the checks and handing it to the city clerk who signs them or has already pre-signed them.
Right.
And the city treasurer or the president of the council signs the check. These cities have done that. They meet once a month. I've got 2 of them specifically that I've observed them do that for years. So the process you guys are using is something I'm unfamiliar with. I hadn't seen it until I come down here. And I think I'd raised it before that I thought
We had the same
it
conversation.
was peculiar.
We've had it before you came on.
I understand.
We've talked about it, but
I would like to see the checks
Okay.
before, I mean, that's just me.
I'm kind of anal that way myself.
I might have found a statute to support it also. It's in section 12,
What-
but there's a timing requirement.
Pardon me?
There's a timing requirement that advance payment is allowed if waiting for the next scheduled meeting. Of if there was a delay for more than 15 days. But I mean, there's nothing that says that you have to approve before they're paid. There's no procedure. for
There
it.
is no procedure. I'm just telling you what I have
Yeah.
seen
It's,
in all the other communities that I have watched for a number of years. So, I mean, I'm not here to rock the boat, but that's awful hard to go back and say, hey, this wasn't right, this is contrary to what we want. And I've seen some of them, actually mayor pull one out and say, we're gonna hold this until we hear more on this. And some vendors, they understand that. They're not, if they're gonna charge a late fee there, they may not see any more municipal business. But I don't know, what have you seen with your clerks?
I can ask in the clerk's group and how they all do it. I've not had this discussion with any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, apparently you've had somebody that said, yeah, this is fine, do it this way, but it's different than what I had seen. And when this came up before, I poured through the statutes and I never could find that it definitively says that you have to approve the bills before they're paid. It does say that payment of the bills is supposed to be an open process. Okay? And you're looking at them after the fact, so the payment's approved. You're just ratifying it. If you're comfortable doing that, I haven't seen anything that precludes you from doing that. Okay? But I always rather be proactive than reactive, and this is a reactive if you're ratifying. Okay?
Somebody take a vote on it?
So the vote or motion that, somebody wants it changed.
I say if you want to change from the system you're doing, that would be appropriate for a motion. Second,
So
discussion.
somebody,
I make a motion that we actually look at the checks before we sign them.
Look at the bill.
The bills with the checks. Because they'll print the check out, and then that's what we sign. And then after that, then they would mail those out.
Who else got signatory authority?
Not I said the cat.
The president,
Ron, and
Do you have a,
president, treasurer, city.
Do I need to sign something?
you need to do a signature. I've got a stamp, he's got a stamp, then you need to do a signature to get a stamp. And they'll get you a
You
stamp.
just sign the checks, you don't.
Yeah, you can just sign it.
Hey, you got a stamp.
Because I was president of the council.
You still get to keep the stamp when you're.
No, she's got it.
Councilman?
It's in the office.
He threw it in the trash.
Okay. I mean,
Well,
who's got
so-
signature authority is who's on the signature card at the back.
That's what I was
Yeah, you'll
saying,
need to
is
get on
do I
that.
need
Yeah,
to?
Ron been,
I
All
believe
that's
so, I
been
think
moved
when
over.
it switched over, I think Michael went down and did that. I'll double check, but I'm
But
almost
do I need to
positive.
go down there and sign for it, or
No,
it's already
it's
been
just
done?
sign the, yeah, you just sign the checks
Okay.
if needed.
Motion has been made by Kevin,
Second.
second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
So then tonight, I would make a motion that we reviewed.
We're not there yet, though.
Oh, no, we weren't.
No, we got notes in FYI. Was there anything in notes in FYI?
2 water tests and the railroad track. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
A letter to B and SF.
Okay, now I'll take a motion for review on the bills.
Make a motion that we review the bill, or, yeah, review.
Motion made by Kevin, and then, I didn't hear
Ron.
those. Ron second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. All in favor? If there's nothing else, so a motion to adjourn.
I would leave here.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Ron, second by Kevin. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carried. to adjourn.